What's up, Hippo lovers? The Viper against Rage. The two unbeaten players in the Deathmatch World Cup are going up against each other. Best of 9 happening right here, right now in the red trunks. Mr. Rage in the blue trunks, the Viper himself. And we will start off with best of 8. Best of 9. Best of 9. And winner bracket finals, so even the loser is still in there and can play against one of the remaining players. The other one is going into the winner bracket finals. Or not the winner bracket finals, the grand finals tomorrow. Best of 11 happening there at 18 GMT. You don't want to miss that one for sure. The Viper building a market, selling lots of wood, and I wouldn't be surprised if he also sold some food himself. And indeed, that's what's happening. Tries to generate some more gold here in his bank. We can get a live update. And he will have 1,700 more gold to work with in this one. While we see him probably try to put that into good use with heavy CA and some more paladins. Already producing some rams himself. And he is heavily behind when it comes to military though. Look at that one. Had 4 villager kills, so it's pretty good on that end. So a really nice rush, but 30 military behind. A solid 80 population at minute 4 there for Rage, so has to be really happy. And Viper could be in some problems here. Simply did build so many buildings that are really unimportant early on. Didn't really go for the production. Could die here too, very early push, or he can maybe just hold this one like we have shown so many times. Relics for everyone who is just joining. Not that important in a Hunts War, simply because now with 80 of them, those efficiencies are reduced quite a bit.
Too much, minus 250 yellow ATM.
And Rams are now trying to already take the fight. Oh, Viper 20 population behind, lots of castles built everywhere, and Viper with the hold at the front for now. Okay, I will sadly have to mute all donations. We want to stay very focused on this one here, but thank you for your support, obviously. And castle will go up while we see potentially that castle being denied. Side attack here by the snake, and he will simply have the better golden army. As you can see, well, 41 to 41% here when it comes to the army value and the percentage in gold there. But that will change pretty soon in the gold favor on Viper's side. At least that's what I would assume. And nice positioning here with the CA, blocking quite a bit, and castle expansion here on every single hill, exactly what we want to see. Massive queue still behind this. 90 halberdiers, that feels like a lot there for Rage. I'm a bit surprised by that one. Populations are now stabilizing. Lots and lots of rams here for the snake. Might even be a bit too much. Paladins are going for the raid here. Where will they try to move in? We have 2 gold spots at the front. 1 neutral gold over at that angle. The other neutral gold at the very top. And pushing in through the center a bit more. Army count 117. That means a solid 20 ahead here. But lots of army still in the back. Not really going for it. And now he is sending 1 army back, 1 army to the front, 1 army is chilling. I don't really know what's happening. Maybe a bit distracted with all the rage there at the side. Something we will most likely will see is lots and lots of rally control for the Viper in those matchups here. He's a guy that focuses on that one quite heavily compared to others, and especially in Hunts War, I think he will overvalue them quite a bit. Hunts War by Hunts War in game 1, because it's the classic one. It is the true test of skill. It is the most entertaining and action-packed ones, and well, obviously this tournament is not only a competition, but also a bit of a showcase for DM. So mixing that one in felt very right. I think it will potentially even be the opener tomorrow as well. Well, we see running out of gold here. poor Mr. Rage, while the Viper also struggling quite a bit. But still, the bigger gold army, as you can see, 39% of his army is gold, 22% of the army of his opponent is gold. And now pushing in, that's a nice hill advantage here. Tries to microwave from that one. Skirms have to be mixed in. Still a bit surprised. Oh, idle villagers here, not heavily on that gold. Has to go for the farmers. Lots of villagers in the queue. Skirms still holding, and those two TCs not really working at the front. 3 idle villagers against 5, still very reasonable. At this spot in the game, you don't want to have any, obviously, like most faces in the game. 50 population lead for the Viper, really good job. Some harassment there, and Viper just feels like on point raiding at so many different angles. Castle blocked for now. Viper goes for another relic. Will have at least 3. Probably flirting with the 4th one. Game kind of stabilizing now after people burned through their initial 20,000 wood, 20,000 food, 10,000 gold, 5,000 stone, and trying to set up the economies, which they should be doing at a reasonable pace. As you can see, lots of TCs already out for them. Defensive castle there, and yeah, the Viper is snagging that relic for him quite nicely. That castle is more on the ambitious side, needs to disengage there. One Tarkin would have blocked the way anyways, and now another big engagement. Viper sits at pop limit though. I think true Mr. Rage, oh god, I think could have waited a bit longer though, and only then taking the engagement. I think that could have been a better option when he's actually pop limit. Why did he really need to take the fight here? Feels a bit surprising to me. But maybe he just saw, okay, those traps are unprotected. Maybe my rams can get there, and then that makes a lot more sense. Might find the kill there, and oh, then maybe get out of there. Castle will go up and now disengage. Indeed, what he's trying to do. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Extra gold control still in Rage's favor. Viper has some sneaky castles to already get some wild moves in though. Some rams now preparing for the left-hand side. Farm eco looks solid, 28. The Viper sits at 27 himself. In the queues right now, 2 Tarkins, 8 villagers, 1 trap. On the other side, some Tarkins, mainly villagers. Now queues up some more paladins here for Mr. Rage, who's trying to address this castle. 4 rams, heavy CA, not much else. I think those 4 Tarkins already can be really annoying. I think they will die, but the castle will shoot quite some time. Wouldn't be surprised if 2 rams are dying before the Tarkins are actually falling. And no, okay, still 3 rams, so I think not too much will happen there. Maybe some CA are dying, but meanwhile, look at that. Villager losses and that castle is falling. Viper gets big control in the center, and oh, this is the area with the double gold here. I think we needed a defensive castle there way earlier. Viper's just chilling it out. Really good move by him. Meanwhile, still pressuring that area and getting some raids in. Viper just attacking at 4 different angles. Really good start for him. 125 villagers on the verge of over booming. You don't want to go into the 140 numbers here. 28 farmers, still not on the amounts there. Lots of villagers idle in the TC here, obviously. Doesn't want to lose them, so saving them that way makes way more sense. Paladins now being mixed in. This is the moment where, after having lots of halberdiers, we are actually skipping halberdiers to get onto a golden army just to stay more efficient. Both players now at pop limit. And I think Rage might be able to push this area. If the Viper is moving out, if the Viper is trying to contest something in a different angle, we might have a push through the center. Right now it's only 4 rams though, 1 paladin, and the paladins of Rage a bit out of position. Oh, this is a big misplay by him. He needs the paladins at the front, just takes so much damage, and now the 2 rams won't really finish the job here. At least that's what I'm believing. Also takes up the hill, only 1 more ram. Viper's focusing that one down, and the castle will just survive for so long. Oh, okay. but is doing a great job. Now even pulled some villagers for the repair. Viper needs to go back. Meanwhile, Raid at the top. Some traps being annoying over at that angle. Maybe sending some paladins in there could be a good option. Need some blocks here again. Ram v Ram. Villagers should die behind this one. Would really love to see like 2 traps or something like that. More army dealing with those 2 traps. Will find the kill, and Viper is holding this castle quite nicely. Maybe a bit of an overcommittal here by Rage. Is forced to disengage. Viper still sits at pop 200 while he has 5 relics to none for Rage. It is only 2.5 relics to none, but still none is the big ouchie on Rage side. And still the 2 golds that he's not getting. This gold is something he's not getting. This one is not really properly mined. I think he will struggle with gold pretty soon. Well, Viper still has 23 villagers on gold. We only see 2 villagers on gold for Rage. And I don't think that that one will increase too quickly. Halberdier is now being mixed in the center. Some more Rams trying to hold this one. I wouldn't mind some repair on Viper's side at that end. And probably just focusing down the CA. Still holding the hill here. Pop limit against 135. This one looks good as game number 1 for the Viper here. And Paladins are dealing with those Rams though. Oh, do we get the kill? 1 Ram. Oh, survives with another 400 HP. The repair came in time. G to the G. Viper takes the first game for himself. Arabia Hunts War. It was an action-packed one, 22 minutes. He did get the early market, didn't even go wild for it, but did get 5 relics behind it. And then after being outmassed actually and having a really slow start, but Rage didn't really punish him for it. Did try to go for some counterattacks, did try to get some map control. A push through the center might have worked a bit better, and then Rage struggled a bit, get onto gold, was a bit late with his TCs there. Viper simply getting 4 villagers very early on gave him a good advantage on how to develop in the economy, as we saw here. Look at that, very, very little that we had for Mr. Rage. Obviously, he did muscle up quite a nice army, and Viper just plus 100 KD in a mirror matchup. That shouldn't really be the case. Also had a solid advantage there when it came to gold. And Villager KD, 82 to 14? Really? Really? Let's take a look at that one again. Return to map, 82 to 13. Obviously, in the end, Villagers died here. But that was a nice raid, and the raids earlier, really, really annoying. Well played by the Snake to start this one off. 1-0 lead for him. So, up next will be something that's really new in the DM world, but could still be really, really interesting. And so far, people absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. We will have what we had in a other tournament called Fair Civs Cup. Now, Rage decides on a map and 2 civilizations. And then the Viper can decide on which civilization he wants. Also, correct, we didn't do predictions. So maybe this is the time where you go wild and post your predictions. It is a best of 9, so whoever gets 5 wins first. I will go with the 5-2 for the Viper. I can see 5-3, 5-2, 5-1, 5-0, 5-2, 2-5, says Mr. True. Okay, believing in his boy. Obviously True, the fallen hero here. Very good friends with Rage and practice partners for so long. So there's some believing, but Fleece is also going for 4-5. Most others believing in Viper. Obviously, his CV looks pretty strong. Okay, and now something that I'm really surprised that we are seeing it, but we are seeing it. Golden Swamp, the home map of Rage. That alone is a surprise. And then we have 2 civilizations, a matchup that I already offered in both of my games against Jitba and the Code. Burmese against Vietnamese on Golden Swamp. Guys, if you had the choice, what would you go for? Would you go for Burmese or would you go for Vietnamese? Burmese, Vietnamese, 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 Burmese, Vietnamese, 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 Vietnamese. Okay, okay, okay. Burmese, Vietnamese, Vietnamese, Vietnamese. So lots of Vietnamese fans. And yeah, the Viper is agreeing with you. And well, we see Brew and Code are in a Golden Swamp Portuguese war. What do Burmese even do? They go for halberdiers, elephants, and ships. And bombard cannons. And monks. Let's go and see what they have to offer here. In the blue trunk, still the Viper in blue is going for Vietnamese. Was offered the choice between Vietnamese and Burmese here on Golden Swamp. And we see a stable opening. I really like to open with a barracks here so that stuff like this is not happening. Harbour obviously dealing with it so much better. And Vietnamese even need another hit. They need 5 hit compared to the normal 4 hit of other starting units. So that was a really unfortunate stuff that Rage is still losing one. On the other side, we did not get the counter kill. And, well, the Viper is opening 3 stables, 3 barracks, 2 siege workshops, castle, and then lots of docks, obviously. On the other side, 6 stables, 1 barracks only, and loses another villager. Oh, rough start for Rage here. And now we see... Whew, that one was close. Could be another hit away, and yeah, lacking Blast Furnace there is just a big loss. And oh, don't tell me we see another villager kill. 4 villagers down already here. Viper with a beautiful start. Obviously the elephants will now march over, but well, we already have halberdiers out there, and that is surely not the start that Rage was hoping for. Let's take a look what the elephants will be able to do. 72 elephants in the queue. Not a lot of water. I think Viper, the way how he dies is if he underproduces halberdiers. If he underproduces water, that could be a way to die. If he underproduces elephants and halberdiers, I mean. Water isn't that important. But already winning the first one is really nice. He constantly keeps reducing out of the 3 barracks. Did hold off the first attack. And now the galleons need to support behind this. And elephant numbers simply not really there yet. And now we get into a phase that is relatively mirror with elephant v elephant. One has more armor. The other one has more HP. Galleons are pretty similar. Halberdiers are pretty similar. The big thing though, the eco development of Rage will be so much slower. Right, won't really get onto gold that fast. Only 8 villagers now. Viper is already sitting at 15 and will get more TCs up quite easily. Rage selling quite some wood, something we don't see too often on Golden Swamp. I'm a bit surprised on that end, because you want to go for all the galleons. Okay, towers now being mixed in as well. And now the march of the elephants. Viper selling some food himself. And elephants now moving at the left-hand side. Halberdiers at the right-hand side. Remember, halberdiers do have quite some extra damage against the galleons. So once they close the distance, they actually are performing pretty reasonably well. Something that Rage either didn't know or didn't really pay attention. Those are some losses that should never ever happen. While Viper is just sitting back and does the damage from distance. Halberdier is still around and has to disengage here. Phew, galleon count not that high here. 88 galleons in the queue. The big problem simply still being housed. Only space for pop 90 here, because he lost so many villagers early on. Needs to wait for his 2 castles to finish, and then it feels like he is finally unleashed and can really go for more production. Took so long. Now 90 out of 120. Viper sits at 140 out of 200. And all the queues full there. 60 more galleons in the queue. On the other side, 75 more galleons. Cannon galleons even added. That castle could be an interesting one. But how do you really defend against this one if we have like 2 traps over there? Will be tricky. Both civilizations have been bombarded cannons. Relatively important on this map. At least that's what I felt. Elephants now moving in. Viper. Oh, that's going to be some losses. And that's also some trample damage. Viper. Oh, quite some losses here. Hallelujah. And those elephants are still around. Rage. I think he would be in a winning position if it wasn't for this heavy villager loss early on. Look at that. KD here in economy is 8-0 already. Viper trying to snag some relics again. Oh, didn't go for that conversion. Wanted to go for 4 relics versus 1 advantage. Will most likely get 3 for himself. Since he got the one in the center. Bombard cannons a bit on the exposed side. Let's take a look how many Viper can save. Seems like at least 1 is dying. Elephant still cuddling here at the right hand side. Galleons doing the damage from distance. And bombard cannons, it seems like they're surviving. Great save by the snake. Now Viper adding some heavy demos. Something that Burmese won't have. They only have the normal demos. Vietnamese get elite cannon galleons? Yes, they do. Okay, I'm curious to see the demos hit. Oh god, this is so clumped up. This is so clumped up. Viper wanted to take this one. Now the demos are moving forward. 3 are coming over. Sharking at the left-hand side. Tries to take a better positioning. Viper. That was a misplay by him. Why didn't he go the short distance? Oh, but the traps are still blocking the retreat here. Rage half the population now. Viper still pushing in. Finds another kill there. More demos are swarming. Getting some good deep hits in. Oh god, 90 population against 30 right here. More light cav are streaming in. More demos prepared. Bombard cannons doing their work. And Viper getting some gold. Oh, the definition of some gold. While Rage can't. Demos moving in again. And Vietnamese just playing really well here. Heavy demos makes in, bombard cannons, and galleon count simply not there. And now selling the wood early on is might be biting him. Might be biting him because it's so tricky to now muscle up the numbers. Viper sitting on 60 on wood with 5k wood in the bank. Villager count 109 to 75 overall population. Not looking too hot. And Viper, dominant performance here. Not even half an hour in. 2-0 already. And that's not shaping up to be the great finals in the winner bracket that we wanted. But still, we are early. Best of 9. We have at least 3 more games. Maybe up to 7 more games coming up. And also some more mirror matches. Up next will be the Viper dictating or deciding on 2 civilizations and a map. Let's see what he is going for. Eco KD, 29 villagers killed, 0 lost. Rage never got a single raid in. This guy is just so crazy. How the Viper is doing it. Obviously, he has the greatest practice partner in the world. It's easy to look good then. Viper only slightly better KD, but felt like a lot of Harbiers were lost there and he killed more valuable units. Okay. And Relic Gold, Viper already got 3 himself. Wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to... he tried to get the 4th one at the side, but couldn't really. Wood, plus 7k, and Rage sold some. So that's like a solid 90 more galleons that he could build at that point. And that's only, how long in the game? 13 minutes? Pretty unfair, if you ask me. Would you pick Vietnamese or Burmese? Vietnamese. Like, we have trained this one and we have figured out that Vietnamese is better. I played exactly this matchup against Viper. And we played like an hour match, and then Viper, like I had the center control a bit more, but he could deny me. But then he had like side attacks with Halberdier, Rattan Archer that I couldn't really defend. Rage got housed very badly. Yeah. Cold and Brew Golden Swamp still going? I think that's a new one. Does anyone have a chance with Viper DM? Have a chance? Yeah. After DM World Cup 3, we had a show match where Viper lost to True. Jitba won once against the Viper in tournament. But obviously champion in DM World Cup 2 and 3 and seed number 1 now. Yeah. Does the set finish before the other one? Let's hope not. Okay. So Viper's offering Acropolis, Japanese against Mayans. You are Rage, guys. What do you pick? Japanese against Mayans on Acropolis. What's your choice? Mayans? Japanese. Mayans. Okay. So mixed, slightly leaning towards Mayans. I would say like 65% Mayans. And Rage actually did go for Japanese. And Viper, how is he playing it? So he's opening with archery ranges here. Interesting one. Okay. And Eagle will defend this one. I hate that he didn't start with the halberdier, but made it work regardless. And the champion should be enough to defend this one. Not a single villager lost. At least we see a stable game this time. Archery ranges. I don't think you are actually going for too many Arbalest. I think go like 30-40 Arbalest and then mix in some skirms. Mainly go plumed archers is the way to go. CA tower is strong. Yeah, I think so. Some oranges behind. I actually like Mayans a bit more. But could be an interesting one. Viper, again, so annoying. So good. Just sends one random eagle around and finds 2 more villager kills. Just so unfair, this guy. And gets out of there and tries to block later on. One villager, one eagle around there. Might find some stuff as well. Relics. Obviously, one in the center, 2 next to the players. And we'll find another villager kill. Just so good. This guy. And now he has the hill control. It's really tough to get some kills at the start because the distance is so long. Opponent is on the hill, can easily defend all your raids. And Viper still makes it somehow happen. Rage, a solid 30 population ahead. Will intercept the monk. Will also kill a villager there, but loses his CA hit squad. And Viper, yeah, just squeezes through there. How I know the Viper, he's going for the long distance relic first. Now a really late market. Are you kidding me? This is a really late market and he gets it fully. Oh, this is so good for him. So not slowed down at all and still gets the full control. Ooh. Viper idle TC counter? Well, you start with pop 5, right? So your TC will be idle at the start. Guaranteed. With Mayans, that's very standard. Okay, Viper now a solid 50 population behind. Will be pushed back, but without any siege. I don't really see that as a real thing. Oh, stolen away, yoinked away. And no units around, Rage is getting that relic. He will get that one at the top as well, but Viper might find this one. Now some Arbalest being sent over. That was so close. So close. Oh, it will be 3v2 relics for the Viper. But not the ones he planned. I believe. Rage, housed again. 140 here. Only now some houses there at the top. And yeah. 3v2 relics. I won't mind that one. It's interesting that Rage is getting the one in the center and still behind. That's a crazy army though. 12k army value against 7.5k. If we just fight straight up... Oh god, those scorpions, they can maybe do enough. Ooh. Do Chinese get +3 wills in the M yet then? Yes. They have a really fast start. 9-1 eco kills. Yeah. Oh, Viper did. No way. Okay, no. This villager. Let's just pray that this monk is not misclicked. But Viper's sending more. Is he trying to contest this relic at the top? Shouldn't really be a thing. Yeah, no misclick. All good. All good. Uh-oh. We need some onagers here for rage. Maybe some more towers. Oh, over that wood line. I really like that positioning. Scorpions are falling. Viper in some problems. Arbalest, I think, a horrible unit choice in this mess here. How many Arbalests does he have? 53 Arbalests, and that's after the shots. So he got over 60 Arbalests at one point, I believe. Not the greatest fan of that one. Plumed archers are diving in deep. Not really sure what their mission was. And that castle is falling. Onagers still around. CA here, and I don't mind the spot for Rage here. Just a nice positioning with that hill. Viper can't really engage. Has all ranged units. Still getting some nice raids in. And he's just finding positionings like that. That's just so unfair. This guy, oh man. Meanwhile, big fight here, and now Viper is returning the favor with his onagers. One shot here, one shot there, and all of a sudden, Rage is not looking to have the strong army anymore. Behind the population, only one onager on the field, kind of out of gold. I think I would have loved to see some skirms being mixed in as well. Now sends the army over that will deal with this one quite easily, I assume. And yeah, no problem, but got pushed back there, and Rams are moving in. Do Plumed Archers win a 1v1 against CA? I would say no. What do we have as sets? 80, 6 armor. The Plumed Archer is 6 armor, 80, 5-4, 7-4. Heavy CA should win. Heavy CA should win. Yeah, villager count is not the most important thing right now. Viper obviously with the good boom, but the army count is what actually matters more. And Viper has only a slight advantage there. Right, players still looking at reasonable pop, and if you have 45 villagers on gold, you should be fine with that one. While we see the Viper 0 on food, heavily goes on wood, is expanding quite nicely. I still think like saving this wood and going for this one first might be a better thing. Viper now goes for a massive push. Onagers here. Not really finding the kills early on. And look at this massive siege army. How are we seeing those army compositions again? Ooh. I think I've never seen this from a Mayan player. Arbalest, Plume, Ram, Onager, Skirm. And not too few Onagers. And not too few Scorpions. Rage had 160 out of 180, more towers, but he simply doesn't have the Onagers. I think he needs way more. Has some here. Where are the siege workshops? 3 here. Would have loved to see some more at the right hand side. Trying to reinforce some more. And towers now doing a reasonable job though. Viper expanding to the left hand side as well though. Finds some more villager kills. Had the gold. Main army still here. Onager finds the 2v1 but loses a friend. So in the end it's 3v2. And yeah, Rage is holding this one. Did he delete before shooting? Looked a bit like it. But maybe just an arrow killed him. Oh, Onager hot shots. Oof. Rage sits at pop 60. 160. But now the raid at the left hand side. Tricky siege workshop. And that one, guys, is for an Onager to cut this tree line. Oh no. Oh no. You have to love it. You have to hate it at the same time. But this is how you play Acropolis. This siege workshop. And Rage sees it. So maybe he can send enough units there to block it. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Eagles are coming around. Yeah, and siege workshop finishes. Give me the Onager. But we still have massive fights here in the center. And yeah, Viper doesn't really have the greatest army against that one. Maybe some Galleons could be added here. Also demos, but not typically the thing that you want to go for. Indeed, he goes for the demos. Yeah, I think it's just counting on your opponent making a mistake, so I don't like this one too much. Okay, the Jaguars will deal with that. Viper now selling some wood and more food, trying to increase his gold count a bit. And yeah, I think the demos shouldn't really find too much. Traps should deal with this one. Viper splits. Don't tell me. Okay, get some revenge. 5 skirms dying there, but obviously against 3 demos didn't really work out too well. But interesting dodge there. He had a real mission. I2aGE a bit too clumped up for my taste. Well, damn it, the I2aGE didn't do much, but they looked scary. They looked scary. Big ram go here and not enough I2aGE to deal with this one. Oh man, tricky to play. And I think you kind of need to mass stonewall this map, but it's so tough. Goes for more defensive towers and rams are pushing in quite heavily here. And bam. Towers are dying, more eagles being sent in. Skirms only in the center, not really the unit that you want. And, well, I2aGE finally arriving. Samurais are around as well, but that was a lot of control lost. 170 population still for rage, but it just feels like he's getting pushed back at all angles. Now ram attack here, ram attack there, ram attack over at this angle. Just Viper with, like, triple pronged attack, annoyance, and aggression. Splits here. A bit on the greedy side, but I think he still will get that tower. Not really sure why Rage isn't attacking this one. Eagles around and more plumes going for some aggression. Should find some more villager kills. Meanwhile, stuff happened here. Oops. Okay. Oh man. Oh man. And well, the plumes now well, trying to reproduce themselves, right? 49 somewhere in the queue, and Viper actually has 14 farmers with 9k food in the bank. Don't really like that one too much. It's actually burning quite some of your wood. Viper back to pop limit though, but Rage has to be happy with this one. Huh. Where are the traps? To follow this one up though. We need some siege. Only 4 I2aGE, the only siege that we see. More heavy CA in the queue. Rams are falling. And Samurai kind of want to close the distance, but not going to happen. Next attack here at that angle, and that's just so ugly. What are you doing if you're Japanese? You always need to go like mass Samurai, heavy CA to deal with this one. Just feels... It's so much easier for the Mayan player to dictate the fights and the armies. Whew. Uh-oh. Rage needs to reclaim his gold spots though. Not the greatest income for him for now. Gets some kills against the plume. Has to be happy with that one. But... loses so much ground over and over again. This woodline was not cut down. Scorpions now being mixed in. Shouldn't really achieve too much against this army. Pretty high HP and not the smallest hitboxes. Four eagles being sent in to kill one I2aGE. Actually, a loss. Huh. Should Rage go light calves? Japanese don't have the last armor upgrade, so I think they're really, really underwhelming. I don't think so. Some gold left here, 360. Trap falls, needs to disengage. Samurais needs to get in front. And then the Eagles aren't doing anything anymore. And yeah, Eagles are arriving. Samurais should be melting those Eagles quite easily now. And indeed, that's what's happening. Plumes need to disengage as well. Meanwhile, another fight over there. Viper's trying to go for water again. Quite some heavy losses for him. Next ram attack started at the left-hand side, and we see Rage. Oh man, oh man, oh man. He's trying to get some control at the bottom. Another TC here. I think another TC in that area could make lots of sense. And that's a big ram go. And where the onagers non-existent. And yeah, Viper just decides on where he wants to attack. And it feels like Rage, he can't be at all spots at once. What are you doing against this? So tricky. Another ram go at the top again. The attack through the center still happening. Demos could be really good this time. And well, gets a really good one. A really good one. That was like 4 CA, 6 skirmishers. And obviously a nice emotional victory as well. Meanwhile, some raids at the top. Okay, that one is cleared up at least. And it just feels like Acropolis. Mayans feel just so much better. The mobility on their side. They can just dictate where they want to fight so much easier. And now, okay, out of gold. So we need to mix in some halberdiers. The Mayan player won't really mind mixing in skirmishers though. So not the biggest loss. Viper obviously, so from the start, has all the archer ranges. And looking at the wood bank, wouldn't even mind adding some more archer ranges if he had to. Eco KD 146 to 10 again. Oh man, oh man, oh man. That's kind of the story of the series, at least for now, right? Just finding so many villager kills over and over again. Viper, just the mobility, does so many things, and it always feels like the Rage is on the reacting side and has to see, okay, where do I go, what's happening, and where do I try to put out the fires. And yeah, he's putting them out over and over again. But there are always some marks left. There's some fire stains. That's a word. 130 population now for Rage. And it is tricky to finish someone off completely on Team Acropolis simply because they're on the hill. But just look at the wood control, right? That's the last one left. Next ram goes prepared. This one is stopped, and this one is not really existing either. While the Eagles are moving in against all the skirmishers, from the archers are doing a good job. Eagles moving away, just wants to kill those 3 jaguars, samurais, and then I think with the last engagement, and that's the end of all those skirmishers, we'll drop below 110 population, and most likely we'll find the G key to type it twice and give Viper the 3-0 lead in this one. From here on, we only have mirror maps coming up. Those galleons patrolling in the center, getting some control as well as demos. Oh man, Japanese on this map. I think you don't have enough control. I think Mayans felt like the strongest civilization, but if it's the other way around and Viper gets the 150 army pushed through the center with onagers, samurais, and towers and traps, then I would have said, obviously, Mayans have no chance against the best army. So tough to say. And so easy to just be the smartest after the game. Looks like the Brew vs. Code match is just finishing. Okay, maybe someone can message them. They obviously should get some rest time. I think the earliest they should start would be in an hour. I think Code should get some proper rest. We want to see a competitive series there as well. Or Brew, whoever is winning, I don't really know. I just thought the Code by the timing. And KD, better for the Viper. Villager KD, let's take a look at that one again. 164 against 11. Hallelujah. Army high, pretty high for the Viper. And that was such a big army at one point. But traps were lacking. Couldn't really go for it. And I think with maybe 2-3 traps, some surround, it could have been easier, but it never will be easy. It's just holding the high ground and then pushing down from there. Okay. Oh, actually, we will mix it up a bit for the best of 9. So no home maps here. We actually have Turk's Golden Swamp coming up. Okay, okay, okay. So we might, if it ends 5-0, actually not see the mirror home maps. Huh. I think Viper's greatest strength is too annoying on 3 spots at the same time. I played him quite a bit, and I really, really hated it. Yeah. No game 6 and 7? Oh yeah, we wrote that wrong, right? Oh. Some copy pasta mistakes were made. Interesting. Viper practice with you? Yeah, and Teto. Think he got his solid 6 hours of practice in, I would say. Maybe 10. I think Viper's greatest strength. Ah, okay. What is Viper's win-loss in practice? Well, he obviously lost a lot of first games and won the rest. Like, I'm playing him Burgundian's War on Ghost Lake. He loses because he doesn't know how to play it. And in game number 2, I get smashed. That's kind of how it goes most of the time. He's just so quick at like learning and going with it. I think he probably beat me like 10-3. Something like that. Maybe 10-2. I don't really know. Against Tedo, I was pretty even, I would say. Will Viper team up with MBL again next World Cup? What is next World Cup? Did I miss an announcement? Do you know more than we do? Okay, then let's jump into game number 4. Golden Swarm Turk War. Relatively short distance, and water will matter less. Rage actually building relatively defensive docks here. Opens with a stable, as you should. Goes for the... oh, instant move in there. Camel spawning at the wrong side, and villagers should be saved. Lots of dancing here with the villagers. Meanwhile, dancing there as well. Villagers still died, and that's just Viper getting so many kills over and over again, while Rage just running away right now. And another nice advantage there. Castle being dropped, Galleon coming over. More docks here for Rage though. Oh, he will go wild on water. Whew. Who is the most genius like AoE2 player in GL? Well, if you think about that, out of millions of players who touched the game, all 6 players are in the top 40 in the world. It's probably all of them, right? Yeah. It's so tough to answer. Like, maybe you give me some criteria what you actually want to know, and then I can give you a better answer than that. Okay, Viper will get a proper castle set up. Now goes for the market, just to lead a building there. Market is denied here, so Viper will even get that one, and will find more villager kills with his CA. Some stops there, and oh, the market might actually be denied. And indeed, that's happening here. Market is getting rushed with 2 villagers, and Viper is rushing this one as well. 85%. Uh-oh, Viper will finish slightly at the same time. Who is rushing it? Let's take a look. Market. Rage is selling everything. Okay, so he will have more gold in the bank here. 132 galleons for him in the queue. Viper at only 60. Who is the best theory crafter, strategizer of GL? I would say Teto. Yeah. Rage sold food, Viper sold wood. Yeah, but Viper only sold 500 wood, right? So that's very, very minimal. We take a look at the stats again. Economy, look at that. Viper sold 400, Rage sold 1.5k. It's about selling the wood here. Selling the food, not selling the wood. Right, you need the wood to get galleons. I'm not even sure if selling the 500 makes sense. Okay, defensive castles again, and this is the good spot to go for cannon galleons over bombard cannons. Cannon galleons 17 range, although bombard cannons 14 range, and doing the splash damage could be really sick as well. Some units that we have to see. I think we have to see those. 7 cannon galleons in the making. On the other side, rams. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I think bombard cannons are the deciding unit in this match. And on this map. Don't think rams. Just where do you get them in? There's melee unit. It's so easy to go for Hussar for your opponent as well. He sold so much food, but Viper can still go for 150 Hussar. And now bombard cannons shooting from distance. Look at that splash damage in here as well. Where are the heavy demos? Not really existing yet. That's a bit surprising to me. I thought Turks had heavy demo. Now some rams mixed in as well from Viper's side. No bombard cannons from Rage side. And just moving in further and further here. Heavy hey, even mixed in by Viper. I'm a bit surprised that he's dancing at the front there. Maybe just to get some annoyance. Oh, bombard cannons a bit out of position now. Galleons are moving in. Or are they? Are they? That was too far. That was too far. No, the keeps, the cars are all out. And the bombard cannons survived there. One was going way too far now. Some counterattack here at the right-hand side. Instantly shut down. Bombard cannons still around Viper. With a solid 40 population lead. That's mainly military here. Villager count is pretty even. Bombard cannons simply shooting behind this one. And Rage is out of wood. So is Viper. Now the big question is, how do we get villagers on wood? How quickly? 10 on wood for the Viper. 12 for Rage. Viper's just building something though. 2 more stables. I don't like this one that he pulled so many villagers away. So he wants to go for a massive amount of Hussars. Obviously an option that Rage won't really have here anymore. Why no camels? No gold. Way too costly. Who's the best pocket in GL? The Viper. .47 galleons for the 63. Viper with the better position. Apparently no heavy demo here from Turks. Thought they had them. Who's the best flank in GL then? The Viper. Best caster in GL? Well, you don't want me to say it. Obviously don't. Okay, the ram soaking up quite some damage here. More 2 bombard cannons helping out, and Rage has to disengage. 150 pop against 90. Viper expanding at the side. Not really caring about relics that much in comparison. Huh? Didn't get that one. Wants to go for those. Not caring that much in comparison, I'm saying. Building a side monastery to get the extra relics. That guy is just so crazy. And focusing on the relics so much. Yeah, guys, you're asking a lot of questions that are probably better asked after the games. I'm kind of trying to focus on this one, although it feels like really, really dominant by the Viper again. Oh man, oh man, oh man. What's happened to the will count? Well, 92-70 here. Monk, what is he up to? Okay, 1 relic stolen away. And yeah, Viper pushing in, and this is a quick one. A real quick one. 14 minutes. 4-0. What are we witnessing? Oh man. Oh man. Some people had quite high hopes for this series. And so far, a very slow matchup generated the longest game. Oh man. Viper just crazy good. I'm not even getting into full hype mode, guys. It just feels so dominant. Oof. Why isn't Viper as dominant as an ARM lately? The level in DM is way lower. Oh man, let's take a look at the statistics. Plus 120 kills for the Viper. Obviously, in the end, most of them are coming, right? It goes down and the opponent keeps the Galleon. So, Wood better for the Viper as well. Getting onto the proper Galleon count. And Rage, quite nice on the gold. Got the market though, as we saw earlier. And then couldn't really expand too well. 14-minute game. And honestly, this was a set map. This was surely prepared by Rage. Oh man. Is Viper and you the only player in RM who aren't top 50? When would JL play Desert Tourney against Tempo? Liquipedia and AoE Zone both have the answer for you. A late match on the 15th or 16th. 18 GMT. You said what your secret Civ pick was? No. Does the upper bracket winner get a 1-0 lead in the grand final? No. He only has to play one set that day. The other one has to play 2 sets in one day. So we felt like that is enough of an advantage. What's the damn prize pool? $10,000. Serengeti, Frank's War. Up next. Which question annoys you the most? Well, that's a really good one. Obviously trying to make me live through annoying questions again. Let's jump into game number 5. And let's pray. Maybe this is the spot, guys. Where you spam some Neely energy. In the chat, for Rage, for some more games, for entertainment, for DM, for not a 5-0. I'm not seeing enough Neely energy, guys. I'm not seeing enough. Paladin here for the defense, Villager saved on the other side, dealt with that one. Okay, so stable start for this one. And how are we opening? 4 stable, 5 stable, 3 barracks, 3 castles. Viper's opening 6 stable, 4 barracks, 3 castles with a clumpy approach here at the front. I'm not too sure if I like this one too much. But okay. Feed me Hobo, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. So earlier with 20 euros. Thanks, guys. I'm obviously very distracted in watching mainly the games here. I hope you will understand. Okay. I can live with this amount of Neely energy here. Let's take a look at Villager Snipes. So we have 3 kills for the Viper, 2 for Rage already, and there will be lots and lots more falling. Distance, obviously. What is this one? Viper going for the wild. No, Rage going for the wild castle at the side. More villager losses here. That one is still exposed. Another villager could fall at the top. She is dying. She might be dying as well. And all of a sudden, Viper killed 7. Only lost 5 again. Villagers, where do we have them? So tough to click villagers with capture edge. Or double click behind buildings. Another villager died there. 8-6. We still have some kills on the other side. Okay. Now the wall's there. Castle not finishing. Heavily housed. Simply because he lost so many villagers. Viper still, well, did struggle a bit with that one as well. 60 more pallets in the queue. Now goes for Halberdiers. Castle will finish pretty soon. And now the market should only sell wood. I don't think we are selling food in a Frank's War here. And he did sell some food, but not that much. Okay. And did sell stone as well. So Viper went relatively crazy. 2.4k in a matchup that does not have guilds. Something we don't see too often. Tries to go for another raid again. 51 out of 80. Now the first castles are finishing. Still get some nice move over here. Quick wall there, quick wall here, but that's open. Oh, missed click there. Oh, God, Viper finds the kill. How is he constantly doing it? Obviously, Frank's having more line of sight, but that one is pretty damn crazy. Whew. Oh man, pretty unfortunate indeed. And Viper now, he will be a guy contesting the top over and over. He will intercept that villager, and he just knows this is the next important area of attack, right? So much of his army and so much of his focus will simply go there. And feels like he's intercepting this one again. Ah, Viper, a villager behind now. Interesting. Did he lose some in the back? Yeah, he lost quite some villagers. I don't really know where. Okay. Finds another villager kill there, though. And 150 military to 95. Both players had 9 villagers. It just feels, if we compare bases, Rage base, Viper base, it's like the development simply is there a bit more. Paladin count 60 versus 69. Viper with the nice lead there. X-Men and Halberdiers in the end dictating that war. 8k food still in the bank. Quite some numbers. Onagers now being mixed in. On the earlier side, I would say. Paladins disengaging. X-Men in some problems. And Rage. Oh no. Oh no. Actually, he does a good job of allowing his X-Men to get home. But that's because he lets his Paladins die. Needs to disengage. Oh god, he now has the hill advantage there. 40 population lead for the Viper. Guys, I'm starting to feel less bad about my performance against him. 60 population leads here by the Viper. 50 more Harvarders in the queue, still 50 Paladins alive. On the other side, we did drop down to 25. That castle is denied. That one at the right-hand side also cancelled. Paladin still around. Did find the kill, most likely even. Still pop 160. Wouldn't be surprised if we are now adding some siege. Indeed, a ram, a trap, and finding some more kills here. And that castle will fall. X-Men now getting the hill control. Viper, I would love to see him expand some, getting some castles up at the right hand side as well. Picking up the relics, something that he always focuses on quite nicely. That one was cancelled, so good save there by Rage, who's now going on to villagers. But oh man, losing quite a bit here. And Viper with 150 military. I think if he just combines his armies, he can go for the attack. And this series might end a best of 9 with less than 75 minutes playtime. Population 180 into, again 70. Hill advantage still for the Viper, and he is not even playing it for the full kill, right? He goes for the stone walls, goes for the castle. Such a safe play behind this one as well. And now harassing the front. 70 population against the max out the Viper. He's just waiting for a siege to get the kill here. Lacking a bit of gold. A bit slow there. Only 2 villagers on gold, so a bit of a mistake on his end. Just tries to set himself up. Obviously, he is population blocked now as well, right? Can't really queue up too many more villagers. And TC count is, quote-unquote, only at 5. But still has to be extremely happy how this one is looking. Score heavily in his favor. Not really that it matters too much in deathmatch anyways. Or cancelled that castle, cancelled that. TC has to hurt as well. Onagers now around. Can we see some big shots? Army is really, really clumped up right here. More villagers falling. One trap around. Okay, gets the first shots in. Oh, army's so clumped up, so clumped up. Disengaging there. Viper sits at 195. Still endless amount of army. I think he kind of needs to force a fight if it was in a more even spot. And Onager dies. Bombard cannon and trap still around. Has a lot of army that is not scaling too well, but the advantage is just completely out of hand. 34 villagers here for Rage. And, oh man. I'm starting to hope. Oh, bombard cannon kill with the Onagers. I'm starting to hope that the code or Frost 9 is going full Saiyajin mode and turning up tomorrow and just going wild. Okay, Viper now pushes in. Pop 180 for him. 13 on gold only. Still not the setup, not the greatest, but he finds more paladins. He's still raiding everywhere. Still the perfect setup, right? Double castle here. He, behind the scenes, got 4 relics for himself. Not even sure where the 5th one is. And the 5th one is coming home as well. So Viper getting all the small victories, or those are even major victories behind the scenes. That one is allowed, but yeah. He won't mind too much. And Rage still enjoying his camera time. But guys, this is a bit on you. I didn't see enough nearly energy. 5-0. I'm like, this is not what I showed up for. It's just a bit disappointing. What can I say? Okay, the Viper will be in the grand finals. Top 2 guaranteed for him. And we will see him play tomorrow, 18 GMT. We will try to find out who he is facing at tomorrow, 14 GMT. Before that, around 16 GMT, we will have some team game show matches. You want to tune in for that one. And Rage will play again tomorrow against the winner of what I think should be the code against Frost 9. Something that will happen after this one. So don't turn off just yet. We will have another set coming your way. And This yeah. This is simply what Viper does, right? And what he has been doing for years. And DM still really, really, really dominant there. Let's see how tomorrow goes. Best of 11.